government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the government of Jamaica will further strengthen the long-standing partnership between the two countries and advance cooperation in matters of mutual interest through the signing of the following instruments. One, the protocol amending the Agreement on Economic, Technical, and Cultural Cooperation. Two, the Memorandum of Understanding between the Government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the Government of Jamaica on bilateral cooperation in the field of agriculture. The MOU between the Guyana Defense Force and the Jamaican Defense Force on defense and security cooperation. MOU on the development of financial services between the Government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the Government of Jamaica. Honorable Hugh Todd, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, will sign on behalf of the Government of Guyana. Senator, the Honorable Kamina Johnson-Smith, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, will sign on behalf of the Government of Jamaica. We will begin the signing of the protocol amending the Agreement on Economic, Technical, and Cultural Cooperation. The protocol amends the Agreement on Economic, Technical, and Cultural Cooperations, which was signed in June of '95 and serves to update the said protocol by providing for new areas of collaboration, including cooperation, among other things, in energy, the energy sector, promotion of cooperations on defense and security, promotion of technical cooperation in the development of financial services and capital markets, cooperation on disaster response and recovery, climate resilient housing and infrastructure, and cooperation in science, technology, and innovation. We'll now proceed with the signing of the Thank you. We will now proceed with the signing of the MOU on bilateral cooperation in the field of agriculture. For agriculture, the Memorandum of Understanding will promote and strengthen cooperation and collaboration in the areas of agriculture and food and nutrition security through the development of a strategic partnership for the mutual benefit of the two states and the wider Caribbean community. Among some of the specific areas of focus are institutional and human resource development, resource, innovation, education and extension, trade facilitation, and advancing implementation of the CARICOM 25 by 25 plus 5 initiative. Thank you. Next, we will witness the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding on Defense and Security Cooperation. This MOU provides a framework for developing bilateral cooperation between the two countries in the area of defense and security capacity building on existing cooperation and seeking to identify new areas of mutual benefit. Among the aims of cooperation identified are the following: exploring participation in multinational operations in support of international stability, peace, and security, develop and enhance as appropriate a mechanism for the exchange of information between the participants, establish standing arrangements for bilateral discussions between officials, and pursue consultations on defense and security policy, and coordinate representation in fora. And finally, as regards to the signing of Memorandum of Understanding, the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and government of Jamaica will be signing an MOU on the development of financial services. The MOU on financial services will promote cooperation in the enhancement of financial infrastructure and systems. Areas include collaboration in the development and modernization of financial services, institutional strengthening, and capacity building in the financial services sector. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that brought us to the end of the signing ceremony. I will ask, but before I go on, I just want to state here that this is a signing, but given the energy and the relationship between these two countries, I am confident that the most important part that is necessary for this to meet the end and the outcomes, the implementation, is already started. So I want to remind us that that is ongoing, and we will see that what these signings give us down the line. I don't want to say a few months, or definitely not a few years, but it has started. And I'll ask the President and Prime Minister each to to say a word. I'll start with Prime Minister Holness. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Permanent Secretary. I believe, though this is a formal event, I can dispense with the formalities here and say my brother Irfan. And I'm sure everybody would understand that there is a great fraternity between Jamaica and Guyana, but personally between myself and your president. And let me also express my deep satisfaction for the excellent arrangements that have been made for this visit to your beautiful country. And in fact, we had an opportunity not just to see Georgetown, but to go into the jungle, as it were, and to see the lovely Kaitur. Forgive me for changing the name of the phone.
It's a very nice with your accent.
To see the lovely Kaitoura Falls. It was spectacular, spectacular. I did it in my suit, no less, but it was, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and my team had a wonderful time. And your Minister of Tourism was an excellent tour guide. So,
Notice she did not give you the footwear brief.
but I'm happy I visited. Today we sign various MOUs, but that should not be interpreted as the entirety of the engagement. Those are just what we could formalize within the time. The breadth of our exchanges and the potential of our collaboration and cooperation is extensive. We've discussed energy, as you have seen, security, tourism, financial services, agriculture, housing, all kinds of things we have discussed, including regional and diplomatic issues. And it is clear that Jamaica and Guyana are very much aligned, and we have a similar outlook on the world, similar understanding of the changing dynamics and the new nature of global politics. But we also share a very positive outlook on our economic prospects. We are both very prospecting in terms of our leadership, always looking for opportunities and seeing where we can make the most out of the resources that we have. And we particularly share a focus on the efficiency of our public sector. And I particularly admire your president in that regard, as he has made several changes in your administration that would be very much aligned with the growth that your country will naturally have. We in Jamaica, we struggle with the same thing. We are making progress. We are changing our bureaucracy. So it was good to come and see in your country many of the changes in motion, the changes working. And it has been very stimulating, Mr. President, to see the progress being made here. And there are some ideas that I will take away from my visit to stimulate in Jamaica as well. But again, it was my great pleasure joining my brother Irfan and joining you, the lovely people of Guyana. This was a very worthwhile and meaningful engagement.
Thank you, my dear brother and friend, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Holness, the entire team from Jamaica and Guyana. I think it would be improper for me not to recognize the enormous work that was done by both our sides in not only producing these MOUs, but understanding fully the nature of our commitment towards each other and for the two countries, and defining them within MOUs. And there are more agreements that will emerge in time. But Prime Minister, I want the people of Jamaica to know that your work ethic is also extraordinary. The Prime Minister came here being up all night on a flight at 2 in the morning. And from the time he came, non-stop to this moment, and we continue all until this evening, he is fully engaged with various stakeholders. And I think that is extraordinary. I cannot really say this is a state visit. This is just an extremely intense working visit. And I just want the people of Jamaica to know of this extraordinary leadership I've seen and a commitment to advancing the cause of the Jamaican private sector and a commitment of advancing the cause of the Jamaican people, finding ways in which we can advance priorities for both countries. And I want to say the last, coming up to 48 hours later, was really an eye-opener for both of us on the similarity of our challenges, the similarity of our priorities, the similarity of our aspirations. And I want to say that it has really laid the basis through which greater trust, greater confidence, greater partnership will emerge. I am very confident about that. When we look at governance, if I may start there for 1 second, both of us share the ambition of having efficient governance, efficient implementation, and delivering services where our people can enjoy the experience of having those services. Services that allow the citizens to feel as if they are valued. And that is important for both of us. And we are both committing on a pathway with the use of technology to advance this cause. And I assure you that we will deploy a team from Guyana to work with your team and to have maybe what is missing over the decades. That is greater integration at the technical level also, so that they can learn from each other and understand what they're doing. In energy, the opportunities are enormous. We have to scope our competitive advantage, your infrastructure and our infrastructure, and to find a way in which we can have a common vehicle through which both of us benefit, but also the region benefit. And we're committed to having a working group examine this closely and to come up with recommendations and options as to how we can collaborate in the energy sector. And there are some exciting ideas that we're already talking about. In tourism, you have distinguished yourself globally in the orange economy. You know, everybody, they're always amazed at the presence of Jamaica, the name Jamaica, and scenes from Jamaica in Hollywood. The depth of the culture, the food. But all of this rests on the people. And the people understanding of what nationalistic thinking is all about, and the pride in country. And I think we can learn from Jamaica. We can learn from you, Prime Minister. As we grow our tourism sector, this is an important pillar. And also look at the development of the orange economy. We'll be relying on your experience in this sector to help us to define our orange economy and to shape it to meet the specific needs of Guyana and the market we can serve. The Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, has said publicly before, the Jamaican financial system has a lot of maturity that the region can learn and benefit from. That is why we are particularly very pleased that we are able to sign this MOU on financial services, given the fact that we are now proceeding on a junior stock exchange. The expertise of Jamaica, having our insurance company more integrated, our financial systems more integrated, our banking system more integrated, our means of settlement more integrated. This is what that opens up the opportunity for. And there's a lot of work in the financial architecture and system that will emerge out of this, these engagements. Security, you have done an outstanding is an understatement. Remarkable is an understatement. What you have done for security and crime in Jamaica is nothing short of a model, Prime Minister Holness. And I hope the people of Jamaica understand what you have done. We too are doing an enormous job on crime. But I think there are important opportunities that we have discussed. We are building a world-class academy. Training is important. Cybersecurity is important. Data sovereignty is important. So when we speak about security, we're not speaking about it in a narrow traditional sense. We're exploring security in its entire ecosystem. And we look forward to working closely with Jamaica, especially given the financial services that you provide, on how we can build out this security architecture that is comprehensive, and also how we can maybe work towards common infrastructure to support each other. That extends to the Guyana Defense Force. You have already seen the work of our Guyana Defense Force. We have already extended an invitation to our officers program here. Jamaica has always participated. We are looking to increase that. The National Defense Institute, today I announced at the Caribbean Accountant Institute that we will design a specific training program on cybersecurity for accountants across the region. The National Defense Institute has in it it's linked to, of course, the work in the Pentagon, the US, Colombia. So it's really an impressive institute. We have a master's in strategic development in that institute, and we will definitely want Jamaica and your security forces to have access to that. We're moving it online. Education, tremendous collaboration for the future and opportunities in education with the Guyana Digital School, and already what you are doing in Jamaica to see how we can build together and support each other. Housing is an extraordinary area of opportunities. This morning, I had a call from local bankers, and they're ready to form a consortium between Guyanese developers, Jamaican developers, and the banks to look at how they can work with you in terms of housing. So already we are seeing this deep commitment and interest from the private sector emerging. And of course, in healthcare, we're doing some extraordinary things in healthcare. Today, you will see at some point Freedom 60, which is the one of the robots operating, the Mantra robots. You will see that robot in full action today. And we are looking also to see how we can collaborate in healthcare at every level, the specialty level, the training level. So as I've said, the sharing our intelligence platform, the common intelligence platform, all of these things are things that were discussed. I can go on and on, but I want to say that it was only this fruitful because of the level of commitment that was given to this visit, both from Jamaica and Guyana, seeing sleep as a secondary option during the last number of hours and nights. So, Prime Minister, to you and your team, the ministers, we are extremely grateful for this visit. We believe that we have found a common path in many areas, and we look forward to a stronger, relentless, resilient, and sustainable partnership with the government and people of Jamaica under your strong, dynamic leadership. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you. I am also very pleased to welcome our newest member of the Global Biodiversity Alliance, Jamaica. important challenge for the region. And more, the global political environment, global economic environment, and climate change continues to remind us that this is one of the most serious threats to the region. But with that threat comes opportunity. Guyana is a land with abundant fresh water, large-scale harbor lands. We are bordered with northern Brazil, Jamaica. Jamaica is part of me now. Brazil. So the opportunities there are enormous. Discuss with Jamaica is how we can now move the private sector to value-added value creation. As you know, in Guyana, the government is building out the infrastructure for agro-parks, agro-processing facilities that is not only linked to traditional forms of agriculture, but to technologically driven agriculture that is what I don't want to say climate-proof, but is more resilient to climate shocks. So this agreement goes beyond a system of food production. It speaks about technical support, training of our young people. How are we going to get more women and youth involved in agriculture? How are we going to get more finances, deploy the type of policies and programs to deploy more financing to support agriculture? How are we going to get the region to eat more of what we produce? The type of transport system that is needed, the value creation. So it's all the forward and backward linkages that is essential in building out this food ecosystem for our region.
Yesterday I spoke about structured labor mobility to support growing economic activities, particularly in housing. It may not be widely known, but Jamaica now has a 3.6% unemployment rate. So within the last 10 years, we moved our unemployment rate from as high as 13% to now 3.6%. Technically, that could be considered full employment. So where we are very deliberate in how we train and purpose our labor force. I believe that Guyana is in a similar position, particularly as your construction sector grows. You're going to find that a significant constraint will be the availability of skilled labor, especially as you take on more sophisticated kinds of construction activities. So it's a problem that we both face. In Jamaica, we have a long standing history of structured training of persons in skilled areas, particularly in construction. So an area in which we could collaborate is to create a workforce, not a transigent workforce, but a workforce that you can always have, that will be available to you, that could be regional because of agreements and mobility, that will ensure that when you are ready to scale, you have the labor force to match the scale of the projects that you have. So in other words, governments have to start thinking in advance. And we can't just wait until we have 9 hotels to build. And then when you start, you realize I can't find the tiler, I can't find the electrician, I can't find the engineers. We have to start thinking in advance, because it might very well be that Jamaica sucked up all the engineers, or it might very well be that Guyana sucked up all the engineers. So we have to think in strategic ways, not just in our own countries, but we are in a CARICOM engagement, which requires us to think regionally. And so that was the essence of my presentation yesterday.
Thank you. Anyone else? Where's Shabrol?
Mr. President, are you begging for questions?
Yes.
Normally after the second call, that's it.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We did it 4 times.
Yeah.